Alright, what's up developers, it's Mike here. So if you're worried about this new Next.js vulnerability that happened, today I'm going to be explaining it all using this whiteboard, okay? We're going to find out what happened, what is a Next.js middleware if you don't know what's a middleware, and we're going to see how the Next.js team fixed this vulnerability, okay? Let's get started right now. So I've drawn here a quick example of a middleware on my whiteboard, okay? The whiteboard I usually draw stuff on, okay, when I want to code. So let's explain this middleware thing in Next.js if you don't know what's a middleware yet, okay? So you have your request over here, and your request is gonna go through your app, okay, through a cycle, and then it's gonna hit your destination. Your destination could be an API route, a React component inside your Next.js app. So your destination will be anything that you want it to be, okay? But you can actually put a middleware that's gonna sit between your request and your destination. And this middleware could be verifying anything. It could be verifying your authentication. It could be checking for something in the headers of your request. Okay, so you do whatever you want in here. You actually code a function, okay, in this middleware to check anything. And if this check is true, okay, everything is going fine, you pass that request from here to your destination, okay? But if something is wrong and something isn't valid, you can cancel that request and send a unauth probably error or any error you want if this check didn't pass, okay? So this is actually a middleware in Next.js. So let me explain what's happening over here and what is this vulnerability, okay? You have something in Next.js called X middleware subrequest, and you can set it to true or to false. And if you come here and add this as a header to your request, so if I come here and just add this to my request, all right, if I add this like that, this middleware you see in the middle is gonna be bypassed or denied, okay? So the request is gonna be passing to my destination without any check happening over here. So all my checks are denied because I just set this to true, and for some reason, okay, when you set this to true and add this as a header in your request, this middleware will be bypassed and I'm just in, okay, without any checks. And this is very bad because I can actually put this, or anyone could actually put this in the headers and get inside your application, bypassing a lot of checks happening inside, especially when it comes to authentication. So I can get inside your application without even being authenticated if you are handling authentication in the middleware in Next.js, okay? So now let me explain to you why X middleware subrequest exists from the first place, okay? So why do we have this, all right? Let me explain to you. So let me explain to you why do we have X middleware subrequest in the first place, okay? So sometimes you have your request, okay, getting inside the middleware, and this middleware will call an API inside your application. This API probably will come back with a request, then this request will go again inside the middleware, and then again the API, and it's gonna create an infinite loop, and your CPU of course will go crazy and your application will just stop working, okay? So it's gonna be creating an infinite loop. This is why if the middleware is calling an API, the API over here, something in Next.js is gonna add this, okay, this X middleware subrequest, and it's gonna put it to true to tell the request that you need to be bypassing the middleware because I'm coming from an API, like this request is coming from an API inside the app. This is why it's not gonna be stuck in an infinite loop. It goes like this: request middleware, middleware calls API, API adds this to true, then request comes to the destination without creating an infinite loop. This is why this exists in Next.js, okay? So what's happening basically is that the attackers are tricking Next.js to believing that their malicious request is coming from an internal API caused by this middleware, okay? So by setting this to true, Next.js is believing that this scenario is happening and they're bypassing this middleware, all right? So this is why this is critical and it's very easy to exploit, all right? So let's see now what happened and how they fixed it. So let me explain to you how they fixed it, okay, in a brief, all right? They added this extra thing, which is X middleware subrequest ID. And this ID isn't a boolean, okay? And this ID is private, confidential, and it's getting generated by a logic over here, okay? So alongside this true, to be able to bypass this middleware, you need this ID that's getting generated by your server. So attackers can't actually guess this ID, okay? But guessing this is very easy and putting it to true, okay? It happens, but right now with this ID, you can't be bypassing this middleware anymore, all right? Nobody can guess this. And with a new update, if you update Next.js, it's gonna be like this, okay? This doesn't work anymore alone without this alongside of it, okay? And this is how they fixed it. So to conclude, should you be worried about this? Well, actually, only if you're using middleware for authentication or middleware for other stuff. If not, you're completely fine. Like, I'm using Firebase for auth, and I'm using Next.js, of course, and I'm not worried about this because I'm not using middleware. So nothing is gonna happen to my auth because it's handled by Firebase. So if you are the same, you don't have to worry. Only worry if you're using middleware. And if you want to be safe, just update your Next.js project to the latest version, the version that's patched right now, and you're gonna be fine. So if you enjoyed this whiteboard explanation, please subscribe to the channel because this channel is brand new and I'm trying to do these tech vlogs more often, okay? So if you want, support me by giving me a like and subscribe to the channel, and please join our Discord. The Discord is called Dev Treasure, where we help you find your treasure as a developer, okay? Sounds cool, right? Well, if it is, join us, link is in the description. And I'll see you on Discord. See you soon.